Alright, welcome back to Bogus Skill Fruitmaster. Anime Review, episode number 2. We're here discussing episodes 3 and 4 for the series. Before I talk about the actual episodes, it came to my attention not that long ago that starting tomorrow, for some unknown reason, YouTube decided to adapt this stupid policy. And the policy is, if you have a little video, you gotta do age verification. Well, for me anyways, I highly doubt for me that'll be an issue, due to the fact that I put all my videos not for kids. Do I click on stuff basically meant for kids? Not really. And somehow AI is watching my videos now. It just seems, odd. Like, why? Like, why is YouTube doing this? It makes no freaking sense at all for them to do this. So, as far as I can tell, I'm still kind of part of the YouTube partner program, even though I'm not getting paid for it per se. But I get YouTube stuff basically like every month, and I so far have not received an email basically. I'll probably find out about this tomorrow if in fact I do have to do age verification, which, given the fact that I'm currently at the age of 37, why in the world would I need to verify my age every single time I upload a video? It just makes no freaking sense at all. And as far as I can tell, this has received so much negative backlash, but knowing the people who run YouTube, they probably don't give a damn at all. I get the fact they want to make content safe for children, but here's the thing. In my videos, anybody who's seen my videos, who has actually sat down and watched the whole thing, have I ever swear any of my videos? Never had any comments about that. I get the fact some friends of mine like doing that. I don't, because kids might be listening in. Okay? I mean, I talk about adult content on my videos. Yes. Do I say, like, the common swear words? Not really, no. Like I said, kids might be watching, and plus, I don't think it's necessary. People like doing it, fine. I don't care. It's just how I do my content. Okay? So, I will find out tomorrow morning if I have to do an age verification, which I am praying to God no. Because that, just like I said, would be stupid. But let's not talk about it anymore. Let's talk about Bogus Fruitmaster. So, like Leah and Leah, that's basically the party, where they're tasked to investigate this monster survey mission. Basically, their job is to investigate the disappearances of 18 adventurers who are A and B rank, who went to this manor that was owned by a former count. The Count of Marless, I believe that Marless, I think it's how they call it. So, how they get there is weird, because this place is in the middle of nowhere. Yes, also, the Sister Saint basically is witnessing all that stuff. She doesn't do much anything at all. And there's reference to organization here that will play a role in this series. So, the three arrived there via horseback. And Leah was very hesitant, but she finds out two of the missing adventurers are people who actually were her mentors as adventurers. So, they arrived there, and the writing looked like a top of like a wall, like an aqueduct, and then there is the manor. And this place is huge. This is the size of a freaking castle, like they describe it. It's basically a 5-story mansion owned by a single person. And I'm like, this place is so big. We don't really see a lot of it per se. Do we see any particular rooms per se? Well, we do see. Well, when I get there, so Then they leave the horses behind someplace, they don't say where. Then they crawl on the side of a mountain, because how they get here is particularly, it's like no direct road for some reason. They can't really go there, and they get lost because of the fog. Then Leah trying to use basically like almost playing on the side, she nearly falls off. Light catches her, and the light falls off, and then Leah catches him. But then all three of them fall. But look how he uses basically one of his sword skills to slow down their fall, and they come down perfectly fine. And then they're on the ground, and they're oh, the growling monsters. And as soon as they get closer, we'll see what these things are. Well, they refer them as undead, but basically they're freaking zombies. It's like if they bite you or scratch you, you become a zombie. And they look like the missing adventurers. And they slice on them, and they go right inside the manor. They eliminate a whole bunch on this one floor. They don't close doors for some reason because there's those zombies outside. So then they proceed to, instead of like, you know, looking around the manor, they just run up the stairs to, I'm guessing, and then they see the picture of the Count, which, not surprising, this place has one. So then they run down a hallway. I'm like, you have plenty of time, because I highly doubt the zombies can get where you are. So then, of course, basically, to get to a room, which Light has no idea what this room is. He thinks for sports. Basically, it's a ballroom. Mansions only have these things. I mean, this is all the rich entertain people with a freaking ballroom dancing. And then they come across a live person. Aside from them, and this one woman is actually one other person in this manor who actually is alive. So, who is this woman who they just happened to meet? Her name is Grenina. She is a woman with long red hair with bits like drills, wears this purple skimpy outfit that just covers her arms. It exposes her thighs. Her back is completely exposed. It just barely covers her front. And so, yeah, and of course, Aliyah used the praise on her. She uses necromancy. And according to Leah, she has never heard of necromancy, despite the fact that's a very common magical skill in almost every single anime I've come across. As a matter of fact, that kind of skill was useful in DC Comics. With the Black Lanterns, technically what that is necromancy. Yeah, basically, the leader of Black Lantern Corps competing, he's used necromancy. So, and then all of a sudden, like, so many zombies, like, well, the ones that are tamed. Well, actually, around the floor, they're tamed. Of course, they go in the room, and of course, they get across the woman. And wonder, like, how in the world, like, why is there so many? Because this would be 18. This looks like almost 100 people. 100 zombies. And then Light and Leah's on his back. They jump onto a chandelier. And like, oh look, it's the Count who's a freaking zombie. And he summoned these people, apparently. And then get this. This ballroom has a balcony. Yes, I've never heard a ballroom having a balcony. I've heard this basically for entertainment, but in a mansion, a balcony. And it has a soul eater. That's what they refer to this thing as. Despite the fact it looks like the Grim Reaper. Like, this is like one of like two that have a creature known as a soul eater. The only other series I've seen that had one of these things is Failure Frame. Yes. Except the soul eater there was completely different than the one here. Yeah, apparently this thing is the one transforming with the zombies. So, oh yeah, and by the way, Leah runs into her two mentors, who are now frickin' zombies. Though she hesitated at first, then she has to, which is what she does, and they're very happy to be. Well, first she takes with the threads, which were taming them. Yes, puppetry is what I can think of this as, and allows them to pass the afterlife no problem. And Then, of course, Light takes care of the Count. And of course, Leah takes care of the Soul Eater. And then, before the Count leaves, he proceeds to summon a freaking dragon. What they refer to as a wicked dragon, which, of course, according to Leah, these things she has never seen before. She's surprised they actually exist. She's heard about them. So, do they slice up this dragon like any other thing? No. The scale's too tough. He breaks Light's sword. So, Light proceeds to eat several fruits. First fruit that he eats, by the way, it's third fruit overall, because first one was basically Nutmaster, which they don't call it Nutmaster in the anime. It's Fruitmaster. Nutmaster was actually a skill in the manga, because basically the way this worked was kind of weird, where it's web novel, then manga, then light novel. Light novel is like 2 books, which is kind of weird. Well, that's kind of what it is there. So then he eats the first one, and it repels bugs. Okay. Eats another one. Cat charmer. Nope, doesn't work. Of course, that was actually his 4th fruit he ate. The 5th one, resistance to weapons from breaking. The side effect is sword or broke. And then they had another one, which, so, if I can find it here. So, okay, so after the weapon durability boost, his next fruit he eats summons a sleep pixie. Yep. He tries to use it first, doesn't work. And then, of course, he jumps up with a piece of the... Of course, he's knocking out the ceiling while he's at it, too. And then proceeds to put the wicked dragon to sleep. And then the mansion starts collapsing. I'm like, you basically destroyed one room, and somehow this causes a whole manor to basically collapse? Like, was the place meant to fall apart? What was it kept together with magic? But the manga never explained this either. So, then they escape. They race back to town. And Leah, of course, asks them, which the guards have no problem. And then Light collapses at the end of the episode. Also, by the way, they also debut a brand new character at the end of the episode 4. A guy who rescues Durner from this mysterious person. Yeah, it's this guy with purple hair, wears a spiked mask that reminds me of one of the characters from Dr. Stone, except he actually doesn't look like a freaking caveman. And, of course, by the way, they mention the organization Black Swan, which I'm sure that's a nod to the actual play Black Swan. So, then, of course, basically that the Sister Saint basically does ask, is he a threat? Well, he does tell her he's not a threat to the organization. Probably not yet anyways. And of course, basically, she refers to him as a... Well... How should I put this? So, she refers to Light as a... I think it's Apord, I think it's how you pronounce it. Yes. And, okay, it's Aparin. As for how the heck, basically, that... of how in the world she thinks that Light might be this particular thing, it's not very clear yet. So, yeah, so next episode, which I'll probably watch tomorrow, we'll be discussing what happened to the rest of the show. and I have roughly 8 more to go now. Yep. I'm going to save my comic order for tomorrow because, well, it's getting kind of late. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications. So, I will see you all tomorrow, and I'm hoping I don't have to do an age verification to upload my videos tomorrow. Okay? But see you next video. Bye.